So in this video, I want to talk about things you need to know about first class or second class in getting this Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And yeah, if you're just seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Jennifer Confidence and I am a 2020 Erasmus Mundus Scholarship awardee. This awardee is so sweet, Misha. So in today's video actually is comes from the place of loads and loads of questions I've gotten based on the eligibility criteria, like the requirements to get the Erasmus Mundus scholarship and all that. Like, I've literally had people come to me and they're like, must you have a first class before you get the Erasmus Mundus scholarship? I know where some of these people, some of their questions are coming from, because of course if you check pages like Erasmus Mundus Nigeria, you would see that loads and loads of them, like maybe over 90% of them are first class graduates, like better first class, like I think maybe 95% of them. So when you check Erasmus Mundus Nigeria, you see loads and loads of their profile, first class, first class, first class. And so a lot of people are like, must you have a first class? Is first class the criteria and all that and all that? So in today's video, I just want to respond to that question. Is first class the way? Is it the truth and the light for an Erasmus scholarship? Like, is first class the requirements of getting the Erasmus scholarship? So if this sounds like what you want to hear, if you want to hear other tips that would help you in your application, just keep watching. So guys, welcome to my channel once again. So I've gotten this question loads and loads of time. Must it be first class? All the people are just having first class. If you're a student, if you're currently a student, what I have to say is work towards making a first class. If you're not a student, if you've graduated and you had a second class upper, or you had a second class, maybe a second class lower, no wahala too. There are ways you can get around it. But if you're a student, I would advise that you work towards getting a first class. But if you're already on a second class as a student and you're already graduated and all that, no wahala, just keep it a good CGPA until you graduate. Now, I understand that most of you have seen loads of profiles from the Erasmus Mundus Nigeria page or any other place. You have seen loads of profiles and they are mostly first class in this, first class in that. In fact, some of them say you might be seeing 4.999 CGPA, in fact 99999 CGPA and things like that. And so you can actually get this scholarship and all that. What I would say is that you can actually get it, because as a matter of fact, I know some people who got second class, maybe second class upper and second class lower, and they made it. Yes, I have a friend currently who is also on the Erasmus Mundus program. She's on the second class. She made a second class upper from UNN, and she's on the program. She got the program, and the only one selected from Nigeria on her program, and she's making us proud. She's doing excellently well. She's performing very well. Now, this is not to say that you should not work towards getting a first class. I think you should actually work towards making a first class. But if you're not there, no wahala. If you didn't get there until you graduated, no wahala. I think if you did not manage to make a first class as a student and you've graduated, or maybe you're even still in school at this point in time, listen to what I have to say at this point in time, or you've graduated. Now, application season, it has closed, and at the moment they are already awarding scholarship. As a matter of fact, we already had like over 60 awardees at this point in time. This is what you have to do. You already have second class. This is the time for you to sit back and strategize. Look at the eligibility criteria of the different courses you want to apply. Some courses will strictly say that if you want to apply, you must be second class upper. Sometimes they will say that the benchmark is maybe second class lower or second class, or some of them place an emphasis on first class, where they will tell you that your academic qualification, that's your grade, is like 50% mark of it. So if you don't have a first class might be 50%. So if you don't have a first class, you have a second class upper, that means let's say 40%, and then second class lower might be 30%, depending on how they grade it. I don't know how they grade it, but I know that for my course, I think first class was, is it 30% or 50%? I can't really remember, but I have a friend whose first class was 50%. I can't really remember mine. And look at those programs, look at them very well. You need to look at them very well. Identify all these criteria, know where your strength lies. Now, if you have a second class lower or a second class upper, you already know that you're not getting 50% mark. If 50% is for your grade, you already know that you're not getting 50%. Now, what are the other criteria? What are the other things that make up your 100% mark? You have to look at other things than your experience. This is the time, let's say you are you're applying for food identity, one of the Erasmus courses, food ID. This is the time for you to, get into the field, volunteer, get experience. This is the period. You need to start, take internships, volunteer and all that. This is the time for you to volunteer with those organizations during this period, because some of them also might tell you that your experience is 30% mark. So if you don't get to have, let's say they say your grade is 50%, your experience is 30, then your motivation is like 15, and your recommendation letter is like 5. So if you have experience, your experience is already 30 marks. And let's say you made a second class upper. Your second class upper might be, let's say, 40 marks. You already have 70. And then you get somebody to, maybe somebody you've worked with, to write a good recommendation letter that will reflect that this person knows you. Do you grab? That will reflect that the person knows you very well. So if you get a good recommendation letter, it's like 75% already. You already have 75%. And then aside that, there is also the option of your motivation letter. And then let's say your motivation letter was good, and then you get, let's say you even get the entire 15 marks. That's how many? That's like, I think 90 already. Now, don't be fooled. A lot of people will get that 90. So you need to do something that will make you, set you out, set you above your mates. There are other things they might look out for. Check for all those criteria there. Like at the moment, I checked some programs and they had people scoring 95, and yet 95 was on reserve list. So do you get? So now, if you have a second class upper or a second class lower, this is the time for you to start volunteering. Now, put all those things, like you need to look out for every single thing that would count for you. Look out for every single thing. What are those things that would count for you? Experiences. In Nigeria, internship, if you're Nigerian, you would understand. In Nigeria, internships are not a big deal. Like, some of us did not get work experience until we finished. In fact, the first work experience we had was NYSC. Do you grab? Now, it's not like we didn't want to work, but it's not something that is a culture back in Nigeria. Apart from maybe those in the sciences, I think they call it, is it CWES or something like that? I think they call it CWES or something, but it's like, I think, is it just engineering? Yeah, I think just engineering students go for 6 months internship, just engineering, and I've forgotten what they call, but people understand. But those people in other fields, like, internship is not a thing. Like, it's not a thing that it's just for you to go to school and come back, go to school. I never had any internship experience. Like, even when my program then was like, trying to embed internship in our program and all that. It was not everybody, it was just few people that managed to go for the internship. Somebody like me, I was considering a lot of things, and we even wanted to do the internship then, Tunisian embassy. I didn't get the opportunity. They made me pay money, finish. The secretary said we should come, that the ambassador is around, we should come. Me and Jeremy, he can testify to this thing. We traveled all the way from Edo State to ABJ. I put in money, everything, went there. And then they told us the ambassador is not around. They can't attend to us, nothing. Like, I was mad. You made me put in money, finish, everything. Instead of you to tell us that it was It was a crazy experience, but that's not the essence of this video. I'm just saying that it was not really a thing. And aside that, like, I didn't really think much about internship. During summer holidays, I used to, during long vacation, I used to just come back to my house and stay with my family and just stay like that. Like, it was not a thing. Nobody told me. Now, if you are on second class, maybe second class lower or second class upper, this is the time for you. You need to embed work experience. This is the time for you to take all those work experience. Like, if you're in 100 level, start now. Every single time. That means you would have like 4 different summer internships if you're in 100 level, for example. This is the time. Volunteer even while you are in school. Now, thank God now everything has moved on. Like, you can still be volunteering, you can still be doing internship. Even in the city where your university is located, you can do internships there. Join it together with your studies. If you're an undergraduate and let's say you're in 400 level and you've identified that your CGPA might not move up to first class, even though you had 5.0 for the 2 remaining semesters and all that. I think this is the time for you to embed internships, start getting all those work experience. They count a lot. So while people are getting more marks for their grades, you'll be getting more marks for your experience. There are other things you need to do. So Erasmus Mundus Scholarship it's not just for first class. Let me just tell you. Though some programs might emphasize, a lot of them, most times they are all first class that they choose. But you can always make your way. If you have the other requirements. Very, you are rich in other requirements. Experience, you have it enough. Like, you've always been involved in things, volunteering and all that. Like, you have a chance. So if you already graduated, you still have a chance. So we're in April. Next application is opening sometime September or October. This is the time for you to volunteer. This is the time for you to do internship. I know that, okay, maybe you have graduated, though, you are looking for money now and all that. But it will be quite difficult if maybe, let's say, you are applying to, you want to apply to food identity Erasmus program. But at the moment, because you did not see any job, you are working with, let's say, a security firm. And in the future, you want to apply to food ID. It might be really difficult if you don't see a way to link that experience to food ID. Okay, you might say, okay, there were security issues because people were hungry. I don't know how you want to put it in your SOP, but just know that this is the time for you to start volunteering or working in firms that are directly in line with, the program you want to apply to. You need that experience. That experience can do wonders. So I get it. Okay, you might just be a teacher at the moment, and but you want to apply to food ID. You need to look for a way to make something out of where you are working now to relate to what you want to apply for in the future. You need to make out a way. I don't know, maybe if you're a teacher, you can decide to organize food, maybe food production events or projects or something like that. See, there's always a way to link something. You can decide to organize maybe a food, food events where students will get to maybe manufacture something. You coach them and then they'll get to manufacture something out of the food, or let's say they'll learn how to make sausage and stuff like that out of beef or out of chicken. You coach them and blah 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 and things like that. You're already doing that. See, it can count for you. So even though you are a teacher, you might not be teaching let's say you're teaching agric. You can make something out of it. And trust me, if you have a second class and They bring somebody who has a first class but does not have that much of experience, you know, and then you have a second class and you're doing something like this. You're teaching students are in competition, they go for competition, you organize the competition, and they'll present their projects, maybe making sausage or turning plantain into flour, or doing this, learning preservations of, you know, some of these foods and all that. Trust me, you are going to get in. Let me shall not say with my full chest, but I'm telling you that with my full chest like this, you have a chance if you do things like this. If you These are strategic things you need to do. You need to strategically position yourself. And another thing, this advice is actually for everybody, not just maybe limited to those with first class or second class or something like that. This advice is for everybody. Whatever project you are doing at this point in time, the internet is your friend. Upload it on Facebook, upload it on LinkedIn, upload it everywhere uploadable. Let me tell you now, upload it everywhere uploadable. When you upload all those things, sometimes these people that are, you know, reading your motivation letter, sometimes they might just go and scroll through your LinkedIn, your social media accounts and all that. You know, quietly just scroll through it and all that. Sometimes you see somebody will check your LinkedIn profile. They'll tell you the person is blocked, like you can't see the person. That kind of, sometimes there are those people checking you, jobs you've applied to. Let me tell you. So this is the time for you to, anytime you do any event, let's say for the person that will organize project for secondary school students, for them to, you know, develop maybe things on how to preserve food and all that. When you do that, maybe you sponsored it and you give out the prizes and all that. You're the person that sponsored, or, you know, coached them. When you finish it, package it and put it on Twitter. Package it and put it on LinkedIn. Let me just tell you now, package it. This life is all about packaging. Let me tell you. So those with second class upper, you have a chance. Let me tell you, you have a chance, baby girl. You have a chance. So don't let anybody. You'll be seeing plenty first class. That's what I'm saying. It's good to have a first class. If you're in school, I would advise you to get a first class. It will save you some of the headaches. But if you know you won't be able to get a first class, you're already on the second class, no wahala. Still work to maintain that good second class, and then, you know, jam all the experiences together. Even when you have a first class, you need all these things then to stand out, because second class people are coming for you. Aside that, you're not the only person with first class. You're not the only person in your category. Sometimes all the people that applied are all first class, so you have to choose the first out of the first class. You get me? So you're not the only one. What shook me the most, like I talked about, was seeing a list of people and everything they applied to. And I saw people on reserve list with 95. 95. They were on reserve lists. So you can see how you need to do something extra. So it's not just second class people that have to do something extra. You as a first class, you also need to do something extra. So both first class, second class, you need to second class, hey, hit it harder. Hit it harder. So I'm telling you with my full chest, there are some strategic steps you need to take. And when you take these steps, trust me, you're going to clinch on it. Trust me. Okay, this video is already too long, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.